Alex Eala is about to walk into Cincinnati carrying a memory she has spent 2 years trying to bury. August 2024. Flushing Meadows. US Open qualifying. She was 19 years old, ranked 153 in the world, and one victory away from the first Grand Slam main draw of her career. Across the net stood Elena Ruse, an experienced Romanian who was ranked 31 places higher. And for one set, the future looked obvious. Alex took the opening set 6-3. She was striking the ball early, stepping inside the baseline, and using her forehand to push Ruse backward. The door to the US Open main draw was not just open. Alex looked ready to walk straight through it. Then the match changed. Ruse took the second set 6-1. Alex needed a medical timeout. The momentum disappeared. At 3-3 in the deciding set, Ruse found another gear, while Alex could not find hers. 6-4, Ruse. The Romanian walked into the US Open main draw. Alex walked away from Flushing Meadows wondering how a match that had seemed so close had suddenly become so far away. Now fast forward 2 years. Alex Eala is ranked number 20 in the world. She owns a WTA 500 title. She has beaten Iga Swiatek on center court at Wimbledon. She has 7 victories over top 10 opponents in a single season, tying the tour mark mentioned alongside Elena Ruse and Elena Svitolina. And on August 15th, inside the Lindner Family Tennis Center in Mason, Ohio, she is scheduled to walk onto the Grandstand Stadium court as the number 17 seed at the Cincinnati Open. Waiting for her? The same woman, Elena Ruse. That is why this is not just another second-round match. This is a rematch with a history. And if you only look at the rankings, you will miss the most interesting part of the story. Because 2 years ago, Ruse discovered a weakness in Alex's game. The question now is simple. Did Alex fix it? Let's go back to that night in New York. In the first set, Alex's forehand was doing exactly what she wanted. She took the ball early, redirected pace, and kept Ruse from settling into long exchanges. On a hard court, that kind of aggressive ball striking can suffocate an opponent. Ruse eventually realized she did not need to beat Alex at her own game. She needed to change the game. Instead of feeding the aggression, she absorbed it. She extended rallies. She made Alex hit one more ball. Then another. And another. The match slowly stopped being a battle of clean ball striking and became a test of patience, movement, and physical resilience. That was where Ruse found the opening. Alex began pressing. The forehand that had produced winners started producing errors. The harder she tried to force the match back into her control, the more the match slipped away. Then came the medical timeout. And by the deciding set, Ruse had the psychological advantage. That loss mattered because it exposed something very specific. Alex could create pressure. But could she maintain it when an opponent refused to give her the match on her terms? For the Alex of 2024, that question had no convincing answer. The Alex of 2026 is different. Start with the serve. In 2024, Alex hit only 4 aces across the entire season. 4. In 2025, that number jumped to 23. And through mid-August 2026, she has already produced 56 aces. That does not automatically make a serve dominant. But it tells you something important. The serve is no longer simply a way to start the point. It has become a weapon she can use to escape pressure. Her service points won percentage has also changed dramatically, rising from 47.8% in 2024 to 59.4% in 2025, and sitting around 56.4% this season. That is the difference between hoping the first ball survives and expecting the serve to create the next opportunity. But there is a warning hidden inside those numbers. A better serve does not mean every problem has disappeared. Alex has still shown vulnerability when an opponent can neutralize her first strike and keep applying return pressure. She has lost heavily to Linda Noskova this season, including defeats at Indian Wells and in Berlin. Belinda Bencic also beat her 6-4, 6-0 in Toronto. So Ruse does have a blueprint. The question is whether she still has the game to execute it on this surface. Because this is where the matchup starts tilting sharply toward Alex. Look at Ruse's 2026 season. She has been dangerous. Very dangerous. She has reached the Australian Open third round, defeating the number 26 seed Diana Schneider and Ajla Tomljanovic before losing to Mira Andreeva. She made a semi-final run at Linz. On grass, she produced one of the more eye-catching stretches of her season, beating Elise Mertens at the Rosmalen Open and later putting together a strong run in Bad Homburg. In Bad Homburg, she came through qualifying, defeated Linda Noskova, upset Emma Navarro, and reached the semifinals before losing to eventual champion Karolina Muchova. That is not the resume of a player who should be dismissed. Ruse has also beaten top 10 opponents before. She has shown that she can walk into a big match, ignore the ranking beside the opponent's name, and play fearless tennis. But there is one statistic that changes the entire conversation. Hard court. In 2026, Ruse's hard court record is 3-7. 3 wins. 7 losses. Indian Wells? First round exit. Miami? Second round exit. Dubai? First round exit. And now she is facing Alex Eala on the surface where Alex has built some of the strongest results of her career. That is not a small detail. That is the matchup. Alex's North American hardcourt summer has been extraordinary. She has gone 7-1 across this stretch, beating players including Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Alina Svitolina, Naomi Osaka, and Jessica Pegula during her Washington run. Then came Toronto, where she defeated Alicia Parks and Katie Boulter before losing to Bencic after a demanding run that included an ankle scare. So look at the contrast. Ruse is coming off a 6-0, 6-3 first-round win over Magdalena Linette. Alex received a first-round bye. Ruse has struggled on hard courts. Alex has been thriving on them. Ruse is ranked outside the top 70. Alex is ranked number 20. 2 years ago, their rankings were separated by a much smaller gap. Now the distance is enormous. But tennis is not a spreadsheet. And this is where the match becomes interesting again. Because Ruse does not have to become the better player for 90 minutes. She only needs to make Alex uncomfortable. Her two-handed backhand can absorb pace. She can redirect the ball. She is comfortable extending rallies. She can change height, change tempo, and wait for the opening rather than trying to create every point with raw power. That is exactly the type of tennis that once frustrated Alex. So imagine the first few games. If Ruse serves well, gets Alex into long rallies, and refuses to panic when the forehand starts flying, the match could become a physical test. If Alex starts searching for winners too early, Ruse will remember what worked in New York. And that is the trap Alex must avoid. She does not need to prove that she is stronger than Ruse. She needs to prove that she has become smarter than the version of herself that lost that match. That is a very different challenge. Because the most important improvement in Alex's game may not be a number. It may be patience. 2 years ago, when her first plan stopped working, she seemed to feel the match slipping away. Now we have seen something very different. Since the beginning of her Washington title run, Alex has repeatedly defeated players who had beaten her before. Renata Zarazua at Wimbledon. Maya Joint at Wimbledon. Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon. Zheng Qinwen in Washington. Leylah Fernandez in Washington. Jessica Pegula in Washington. Alicia Parks in Toronto. 7 former conquerors. 7 debts paid. That pattern matters. Because at some point, it stops being coincidence and starts becoming identity. Alex has learned how to look at an old loss and say, not this time. And now Ruse is standing there. The first woman on this list who defeated her when she was still trying to break into the Grand Slam main draw. That makes this match emotionally different from the others. But there is another side to the story, and Alex cannot ignore it. She is tired. Very tired. The Washington title run required 5 matches across 8 days, with rain forcing the final across 2 calendar days. Then came Toronto. 3 more matches, including a bruising 3-set battle against Katie Boulter. There was an ankle scare. There was travel. There was recovery. And now Cincinnati. This is not a theoretical concern. Fatigue changes tennis. The first serve can lose a few miles per hour. The legs can arrive half a step late. The forehand can lose its precision. And a rally that normally ends after 4 shots can suddenly become 8. That is exactly where Ruse would love to take this match. If it becomes a 3-set war in the Ohio heat, the question may not be who has the better game. It may be who has more left. But even after accounting for all of those dangers, the probability still points strongly in one direction. Alex should be the favorite. Not because of the name. Not because of the story. Because the evidence says so. She is the higher-ranked player. She is seeded. She has the first-round bye. She is playing on her preferred surface. She is coming off a WTA 500 title and a deep run in Toronto. And she is facing an opponent whose 2026 hardcourt record has been the weakest part of her season. The 2024 head-to-head is real. It matters. But it cannot be allowed to become the entire analysis. That match was played when Alex was 19 and ranked 153. This match is being played with Alex at number 20. That is not a small improvement. That is a completely different career. Back then, Alex was fighting for entry. Now she is the number 17 seed. Back then, one bad set could end the dream. Now she has already beaten a defending Wimbledon champion on center court. Back then, she needed a wildcard level opportunity to get close to the biggest stages. Now the biggest stages are waiting for her. She is not facing the teenager she beat in Queens. She is facing a player who has spent 2 years turning losses into evidence. Every painful defeat has become part of the education. Every opponent who once figured her out has eventually had to face a different version. And now the final piece of that old chapter is standing across the net. There is something almost cinematic about the timing. August 2024, Ruse closes the door on Alex's first Grand Slam main draw. August 2026, Ruse stands between Alex and the third round of a WTA 1000 event. Same opponent. Same player. Completely different stakes. And maybe the most revealing thing is this: Alex does not need revenge. She needs confirmation. Confirmation that the player who once collapsed when the match stopped going according to plan is gone. Confirmation that when Ruse slows the pace, Alex can stay patient. Confirmation that when the first serve does not land, Alex can win points anyway. Confirmation that when the match becomes physical, Alex's body can hold. And confirmation that the rise of the last 2 years is not momentum. It is reality. That is what Cincinnati is really testing. Not whether Alex can beat Elena Ruse. Of course she can. The real question is whether she can beat the version of Ruse that once beat her. Because those are two different opponents. One is a player standing across the net. The other is a memory. And memories can be dangerous in tennis. They can make a favorite rush. They can make a player chase the perfect shot. They can make a 20-year-old think about what happened 2 years ago instead of what is happening right now. Alex has spent the last year proving she is learning to do the opposite. She is learning to stay in the moment. That was the lesson of Wimbledon against Swiatek. The defending champion had the crowd, the reputation, and the history. Alex had the point in front of her. The first set tiebreak went to 11-9. She saved set points. She survived. Then she took the second set 6-2. That performance told us something. When the stage gets bigger, Alex does not necessarily get smaller. Sometimes she gets better. And Cincinnati is another test of that identity. If Alex comes out aggressively but under control, protects her second serve, and refuses to overplay the forehand, she can force Ruse into the exact situation she hates, defending for long stretches without getting rewarded. If Alex gets a high percentage of first serves in, the pressure increases. If she takes Ruse's second serve early, the rallies shorten. If she moves Ruse side to side and then attacks the open court, the 2024 blueprint becomes much harder to reproduce. But if Alex gets impatient? If she starts trying to end every point in 3 shots? If Ruse turns the match into a grinding contest? Then suddenly the old memory becomes relevant again. That is why the first 20 minutes could tell us almost everything. Watch the serve. Watch where Alex stands on return. Watch whether Ruse can consistently push her behind the baseline. Watch how many rallies reach 7 or 8 shots. And most importantly, watch Alex's reaction when she loses a few points in a row. That reaction may matter more than the scoreboard. Because 2 years ago, the match started slipping when Alex stopped trusting her game. Today, the challenge is to keep trusting it. For Alex, a clean win over Ruse would send a powerful message. It would say the Washington title was not a hot streak. It would say Toronto was not a lucky run. It would say the hardcourt version of Alex Eala has become a genuine threat. A 3-set win would say something different. It would prove resilience, but it would also raise the fatigue question. And a loss? A loss would not erase the season. But it would remind everyone that tennis does not care about rankings, narratives,